Now in this next lesson, I will be teaching you about the differentiation between the similar sounding letters. Now this relates back to the very first lesson in which we taught you the Arabic alphabet and how to pronounce the Arabic letters. Now I'm going to pronounce each of these letters twice, and then if there's any need for any explanation, then I will explain as I go. The first letter is a Hamza. And the example of it would be the third word you see on your screen, which is alimi. Now, the Hamza sound is pronounced normally, and you do not take the sound from the throat. So simply just say a. Now, the next letter sounds somewhat like the alif, and many people do not know how to differentiate the sound between an alif and a Hamza. A Hamza and an ain. So when you make the sound of an ain, take the sound from the bottom of your throat. Say ara, ara. And now the example of this would be alimi, alimi. Now there is a big difference between alimi and alimi. So whenever you pronounce the ain, take it from the bottom of your throat. Now the next two letters that sound the same are the ta and the ta. Now if you remember the very first lesson in which we taught you the Arabic alphabet, I said that the ta was a smiley letter. So what you have to do when you pronounce this ta is you smile with your teeth. So you say ta, ta. And then when you say ta, rather than smiling, you would make a sort of frowning face. So you would say ta, ta. Now notice the difference. Ta, 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 ta. Now the next three letters, most people pronounce them as they would pronounce a scene. So they say that the sa sounds like a scene, the scene is a scene, and the swad is also a scene. Now when you differentiate between these sounds, the sa or the tha must be pronounced by putting your tongue in between your teeth. So this first letter that you see in this group of three, you have to pronounce it by putting your tongue in between your teeth. So you say tha, tha. Now the next letter is a sin, and I call this sin also a smiley letter because when you pronounce it, you have to smile with your teeth. So when you say this letter, smile with your teeth while you are saying it. Sin, sin, sin. And the last letter is a sod. Now this is the opposite of the sin. When you say sin, you smile, but when you say swad, you make a sort of frowning face. So now notice the difference. Sin, sod, sin, sod, sin, sod. Now the next two letters, people pronounce the exact same. Rather, the first letter has to be taken from the throat, and the next letter has to be just normally recited so the air comes from the lungs just normally. So the first one is a very sharp sound, the ha, ha, and the next one is very plain, very simple, ha. So you have the ha, which is the first one, and the ha, which is the second one. Now notice the difference. Ha, 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 ha. Now the next five letters, they are pronounced, two of them are pronounced the same, and then I will teach you the rest of them because they have different types of things you have to do with your mouth in order to make those sounds. So the first one is simply a dal, and now the next one that people call the zod is actually a dod. So you have to make the sound as if it is a dal as well. So the first two letters sound the same, dal and dal. Okay? And now the next one is the dal. Now when you're pronouncing dal, you have to put your tongue in between your teeth, just like you would pronounce the tha. So you have dal, dal. And the next one is simply za, za. And the next one is you have to put your tongue at the top, at the roof of your mouth when pronouncing that. So you say za. What you do not do is put your tongue in between your teeth, because then that would result in you pronouncing a dal. So you have a dal and you have a dha. Now the dha again is pronounced by putting your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Dha, dha. So now these five letters, this is how you pronounce them. Dal, dal, ضاد, ضاد, ذال, ذال, za, 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 za. Now the next two letters, people also pronounce these the same, but the first one you have to take from your throat, so qaf, and the next one is simply kaf. Qaf, kaf, qaf, kaf.